it's Jazzy Jada and I am finally doing another tutorial. It's been so long since I done a tutorial. Before I start today's tutorial, I just want to say that I'm no expert at digital art, but I have come a long way. I will show you a do's and don'ts version at the end, but first let's start with the basics. So I drew some circles and I'm going to show you how to shade the colors of the rainbow, including white, black, and brown. When shading, you don't want to use colors in the same color family. For example, let's start with the red circle. So first you want to map out / plan where the light is hitting. So the light source is on the left side, and it's best to draw an arrow just in case you forget. So the shading will be on the opposite side. When shading, don't use a dark red. That makes the drawing look really dull and muddy. Instead, use a dark purple. See, doesn't that look better? It adds contrast and it makes it look interesting. To practice, I would do all the colors like I'm going to do, and if you do traditional art, you can do the exact same thing I'm doing. Just make sure you blend the colors really well with solvent or burnishing. Highlights is the exact same thing as shading, just using colors that are lighter. We are still using red circle, sphere as an example. Don't use a lighter red, use an orange instead. That rhymed. I'm not going to explain how to and show you how to shade every color, but I will put this template at the end of this video so you can take a screenshot and use it. I know my blending is really crappy, but you get the point. A transition color is a shade that helps you merge two colors together. You can also call this transition shade. Honestly, I didn't know what this was until I started watching makeup videos when I was younger. So thank you, beauty girls. Transition color is basically the base color. For example, red was the base color and red is the transitioning color. So when blending the red, I added different shades of red to help blend the orange and purple together. Shading and highlighting difficult colors. So white, black, and yellow are kind of difficult and different, and I'll show you why. You were probably wondering why there were two yellows, and that is because yellow can be bright and cheerful like baby chicks, or dull like a bowl. I don't know, something like that. I don't know. For dull yellow, use brown, and for bright yellow, use orange. So let's move on to white. White is difficult because it depends on what look you're going for. If you want a dull white, shade with gray. I'm going to show you gives it like a pearly effect. And for the shading, I'm going to shade with this lightish bluish color. And don't do any highlights. You want it to stay white. And I added a little hint of pink for the transition color. And then just blend, blend, blend away. So now for black. Black is really easy. So yeah. Gray is the transitioning color, and for shading use black because you can't go darker than black. You can also use a dark blue or purple for shading. Again, it depends on what look you're going for. So try it, do some trial and errors, And if you know, you can just undo it, because that's the amazing world of digital art. For digital art, I would use a scrap piece of paper or a sketchbook to test these out. And don't go into the final piece using these if you don't know what you're doing, because you will really ruin everything. Been there, done that. So let's put our shading and coloring tips to the test. Welcome to Do's and Don'ts. Today our contestant will be this lovely girl dressed to impress absolutely nobody in her beautiful fall outfit. BTW, her face looks like a little weird because I haven't drawn a face in like a while, or it could be art block. Anyways, let's get on to the do's and the don'ts. I would make a great host. So don't use an airbrush tool to shade. Instead, use a brush. Why, you may ask? Because the airbrush tool has no texture. So put that to the side and grab a brush. When blending, don't use long strokes. Instead, use quick and short strokes. Use the same color to shade. Instead, use different colors to add contrast. Oh wait, I mentioned that in the first part, but just in case you forgot, don't use white for highlights. Instead, use the colors like I showed you earlier. I used to do this a lot and just use white for highlights when I used to do traditional art. So yeah. For the skin, don't use a dull brown because that's just ugly. Instead, use a warm red because it's really warming and fall-like and just to make the drawing have contrast. And that's all the do's and don'ts I can think of. Stay tuned for the next episode of Do's and Don'ts, whenever. So make sure you subscribe. Anyways, thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope you liked it. And if you did, give it a thumbs up if this was helpful. And comment down below for tutorials you want me to do or anything you want me to do. And subscribe for more videos just like this one. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye!